Hey everybody, it's Peter from the Kia Hyundai channel. Welcome to our live video series. We are just a couple seconds late here. I like to be a little bit earlier than we are, but what we're looking at today is Kia Sorento SX. In Canada, that is our top of the line with everything on it. And then we have kind of the top of the line, I should actually clarify that as well. Kind of top line Telluride, this is the SX Limited or SX Luxury. It is the SXL model, so technically there is the night sky above that, but realistically this is actually more luxurious inside, and we'll explain that one in detail. And then the SX Carnival at the end, which of course in the States is kind of like the SX Prestige. So top of the line the whole way through, and the only reason it's not top of the line is, again, you can get the night sky or nightfall in the States of the Telluride, and of course there is a PHEV and hybrid version of this, which you could argue they are more expensive. I would argue they're not quite as premium, and we'll talk about that as well. Anyways, this is going to be a full comparison between all three of these vehicles. We're going to leave out some of the things that you can easily find in your spec sheet, like horsepower and torque and those kind of things, and look at the actual real-world stuff that you're going to see and compare them all so you get a sense of what you're going to be looking at. And we're going to do that all in this video. If you've never joined us before, we do a live video every day like this at 2 o'clock. And if you just want the content of this video and you're not live with us, you can skip ahead to the 3-minute mark. In the meantime, I'm going to show you how to join us. I'm also going to show you, talk about some news and some notes, and then we'll get going at the 3-minute mark. So here's how to join us. And while we're doing this, I am going to, well, here's how to join us, and then I'll just do that quick. First of all, we got a new home screen video up there. Check it out today. It is what to look for in a car dealer during inventory shortages. So we did our December update, and we're dealing with inventory shortages. So we'll tell you how we've succeeded here and what I think works for our customers and why they seem to be happy with us for the most part. So that's that video there. But if you refresh this page at exactly 2 o'clock Eastern time, and you can see I am just a little bit late today, 2:01, excuse me, you will see that we have the live video take over our home section there. We're gonna click into that live video. You'll have to watch a quick little ad. And in the meantime, while I'm skipping that ad, you can, I just want to run a quick ad for ourselves. If you are looking to buy a car in Ontario, you can connect with me through the link that will be in the description as soon as this video is done, and I will connect you up with our team, and they will take care of you. They will treat you like family, and yeah, they run out of time for these ads now. But yeah, connect with us, and we will take care of you. Doesn't matter where you are in Ontario, we'll go through that. We're a little low on likes today, 27 people on so far. I got 11, so if you're regular with us, feel free to hit that like button right away. If you're not regular with us, then I will try to earn it as best I can. I am just throwing my TV screen across on our Apple TV there, so when your comments come in, I can see them through another screen just to make it a little easier on me. News and notes, not a whole lot to say right now. We did our video up this morning, and we've run out of time to talk about a whole lot. So Ioniq 5 will be coming hopefully before the end of the model year, or end of this year. We should see that soon. So, whew, what a rush. We are already at the 3-minute mark. All right, so here's how this works. We're gonna spend about a half an hour with these vehicles. If we're over time, we're basically just answering your questions. So feel free to grab yourself a snack and a beverage. This is gonna be a fairly fast-paced video. We will be taking your questions throughout different points of the video, so you can ask them at any point. And I am hoping to earn your like and your subscription, and here's why. We're not just a review channel, so if any of these vehicles are on your list of things that you wanna see more of, we will have them back in here again and again and again and again. We'll make shorter videos and longer videos. We'll do this live video every day at 2 o'clock. And I'm hoping I can earn your subscription, your like, your comment, that kind of thing, because we want to show you these vehicles in as complete detail as you can find. So let's get rolling. All right. First things first, each one of these vehicles was introduced at a different time, and you're gonna see some evolutionary things. So the Telluride came first and literally swept up awards for its class. It is absolutely fantastic, and it still remains absolutely fantastic today, and I think you'll find that when you look at unbiased reviews. And of course, I'm biased. I'm gonna tell you all these cars are great, but unbiased reviews will also tell you that that is great. Now, that being said, with each new generation of new vehicle, there have been evolutionary improvements, and that does bring some things to the newer vehicles that you don't always get on a Telluride. So we'll talk about some of those things, and then we'll move over as well with Carnival, which is not an SUV, but all of these are 2022 model year vehicles, and they are all essentially top of the line. So where do you want to start? I think, you know what, why don't we just start with, we'll start with the Sorento. This one is a 6-passenger, that one is a 7-passenger, and so is that. So what it is 2 seats, and 3 in that particular Carnival, 2 seats, and 3 in that Telluride, 2 seats, and 2. And we may not get to rear seat space. I know you guys are going to want to see rear seat space. If we don't get to that in this video, we'll do a separate video in the future showing rear seat space with someone like me inside. But on a live video, sometimes that takes a little bit of time setting up seats and getting that all ready. So that may or may not be something we touch on. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments, and we will make sure that we cover that if we don't have time to do that today. All right, let's jump inside first of all. One thing I really like about the Sorento here is you have the best seats of the bunch, kind of. Certainly one step up over the Telluride. So you're going to see on a lot of these vehicles here, when you come down here, you have this extension in the front. You can see it right here starting to come out. So I can push that down, and you can lengthen or shorten this seat for a taller or shorter person, and that makes it super comfortable whether you are taller or shorter. So kind of nice to have that there, powered seat. And this one has 4-way lumbar support. You can't get 4-way lumbar support in the Telluride, so just something worth pointing out. A lot of people think Telluride being top of the line has everything and more, and that's not always the case, although it is very, very well equipped, and as I mentioned earlier, it's very well done. All right, so here's what's interesting now. As we talk about these vehicles being introduced at different rates, Telluride, you'll see in a second, does not have a full digital display screen, but this one has the basically 13-inch, 12.3-inch screen here, so 12.3-inch screen there, and a 10.25-inch screen there. Now, you'll see in the Carnival what is about to come, and it'll be another vehicle we add to this comparison in the future, which will be on the Sportage. The Sportage, the EV6, which are coming out, are going to have a consistent look here that'll be much like our Carnival, but this is kind of an in-between stage, and you have this, which is kind of nice and close to you. Both these vehicles literally, and I should point that out, other than the Carnival, and really the Carnival should be the same boat, all these vehicles basically just got off the truck. The Carnival was here a couple days ago, but I have not had time to spend any time with it because it has been on test drives and fresh off the truck. This one is the same situation and the other one. So if there's things that are a little bit new or odd, including things like low washer fluid, low fuel, those things are just because it just got off the truck. So a 10.25-inch display here, you're going to have the same basic software in all of these vehicles, and it is this kind of purplish thing. One thing I really, really like about this is you can change the users here. Now, changing the users in a lower trim car just does something like, if you were to go to your radio or something like that. So let's just go to the radio right here. If you go to our radio in this car, you could set your own presets here. On our lower trim cars, that's all it does. On our higher trim cars, you're really starting to get into a situation now where you're setting up this vehicle really customized the way you want it. So think about it. I always tell people that when you're in these higher end vehicles, think about this as if you were sharing your cell phone with someone that you love. You might love them, but you're not going to love sharing a cell phone with them. And the reason is because all of those settings, those little tiny things, it's a little bit different for you than for them. And this is a car where I really encourage you, if you're sharing this car, to switch those drive modes between driver 1, driver 2, and the guest mode. So driver 1, driver 2, you can customize the name, but you can do all kinds of things like setting up your safety convenience stuff. So this one here, when I throw it on highway drive assist, it can give me things like warning me or slowing the car down, speeding it up around curves and other things. Speed limit warnings, I can set it to speed limit assist. What that does is when I set my cruise control, right now if I set my cruise control, it'll give me an arrow on the dash. I can tap it up and it'll go right to the speed limit, or 5 over or 10 over if I want to do that. So once you start customizing this car, think about that. If you set the cruise control up and at a single tap, it can use the cameras to see the speed limit signs and then adjust your cruise control, for instance, to exactly that speed limit, or 10 over. Imagine you've set that up so somebody else jumps in, they set the cruise control, and wait a second, what's it doing? So there are so many different features in this car that once you start customizing them up for yourself, and again, you're paying for these features, so you might as well learn how to use them, and that's what this channel is great at helping you do. But when you start customizing them for you, it may not be the right situation for someone else. So especially if you have younger drivers or that kind of thing, so you can really customize a whole lot of things. Drive and terrain modes, we can talk about just how that's set up. Heads-up display in this car, you don't have that in the States. You do have it here. It is set to very dim right now, but we can show you it here a little bit. All 3 of these cars have heads-up displays, and they look like they're flickering on camera, but they don't flicker in real life. And they are color displays. They can really customize a lot of things there. And all 3 of them display on the windshield, not on that. Can you lock your settings? Someone just asked. Not so much. So that's why, again, if you use your driver, so what I'm doing, I'll just show you like what I'm talking about. If you use your driver, that picture will be your own display. So you can change user here. They each have their own pictures, and you can customize those pictures a little bit. If you set it to your setting, it's going to stay. If they're in driver 2, they can't change driver 1's settings. Same thing with the guest settings. So I'm going to leave it on guest here for now. Oh, I guess I am switching it. But that will change a lot of things in this car. Most of them, they change also your climate control as well. So let's leave it off of guest there. Let's go back to, I guess we'll just confirm it on driver 1 there. Oh, I don't know where I got to. But anyways, the point is, I have entered exit for, oh boy, I don't want to do that. I want to go back to, anyways, we'll figure that out in a second. I'm not reading what I'm doing here, but the point is, yeah, you can't lock the settings to yourself. So what you do want to encourage people is just to use the guest mode, or even set it to guest mode before you get out if you know they're switching, but not a big deal, so you can customize that. So again, overall look in here, a couple little things that you have on this vehicle that you don't have on the Telluride. You have this smart cruise control. You don't have lane follow assist, but you do have an active lane keeping assist. It is a slightly more advanced system here of looking forward from this car and being able to steer for itself to keep it centered in the lane. All 3 of these cars can steer for themselves. They have highway drive assist. But generally speaking, they... I mean, you're responsible for the car, but the car is capable of taking some steering control. This one's going to be a little bit more precise. It also has a few more things like in the Sportage, you have things like junction avoidance assist. So you have a collision avoidance assist that works in a little bit more of an advanced way than in something like the Telluride. And again, it's just an evolutionary thing. So somebody says, doesn't matter if the Telluride doesn't have it, still your dream car. Yeah, Telluride still has an active lane keeping assist. Just evolutionarily speaking, the Telluride system is just one step behind this car. Still works very well. I don't want to pretend like the Telluride isn't an amazing car, because it is. Paddle shifters here, 8-speed transmission. You can tow 3,500 pounds with this car, 5,000 with the Telluride, 3,500 with the other one. So over here, automatic climate control. They all have dual zone. This one's dual zone with a rear air conditioner. The other 2 vehicles are triple zone. Down here, you have a very similar thing in all the cars. This one has a wireless charge pad where your phone slides in like that. It is a ventilated charge pad, which means it's a little bit faster charging. 3 USBs, heated and ventilated seats in all of these cars, and drive modes on all of these cars as well. Identical here in the Telluride and on the Sorento. Comfort, Eco, Sport, and Smart. Switch it to terrain modes, and you've got snow, mud, and sand. If you're Americans and you don't have this in your car, that's correct. We are Canadians, and we have better drive modes than you guys do. Heated steering wheels in all the cars, that kind of thing. So again, just real quick look overall. The big difference is that big full display screen here, and then a 10.25 inch, which is pretty big. This is bigger though, 12.38, but it is set back. So let's jump out of here. Memory seats as well in all these cars. So we jump into there. Let's take a look at the Telluride for a quick second. We'll spend a little bit less time here because, again, we've covered a lot of the same things. Telluride, ooh, I forgot to take all the shipping plastic out of the car. Telluride over here, again, you have that lane keeping assist button right here. Which is that. You do not have the lane follow assist button on the steering wheel. And again, for most people, not a huge deal, just some evolutionary changes. Also, the Telluride has no option for a full digital display. You have all the same information in here, including low washer fluid, which obviously this car, again, just off the truck. Sometimes they don't come perfect. And ignore the fuel efficiency. This car's been idling outside and it was probably just reset 84.7 as I was going through the car wash today. So that was idling. Obviously, that's not at all real world fuel economy in this car. And this car, like I said, hasn't even been through our shop yet. But you do have a change here where you don't have the digital dash, full digital dash, but you still have the same basic information. And on all of these cars, if I just start it for a quick second and I signal to the left here, you will see your blind spot there as well. So you can only do that while the vehicle's running, and I'm not really supposed to run the vehicle while we're inside here. So it's worth keeping in mind, every one of these vehicles has a 360 camera. We'll show you that in a second here. And let me just flip around. But all of these vehicles also can use those cameras when you signal to show beside you. So there's our 360 camera. When you put it in reverse, you get the backup camera. When you put it in drive, it will show you in front of you. But there is that. This one's set to Fahrenheit just because it came. So again, basically the same here. Now on this SXL, it looks terrible on camera. This is sort of a felt liner. And like I said, it really looks bad on camera. It's much nicer in person. But it is a nicer soft touch material. It is on the SXL. It is not on the Night Sky if you wanted to get that. So I can open the rear thing there. So what's nice about this is you have the rear sunroof there. You have the front sunroof as well up above me, but only the front one opens here. On the Sorento, you probably noticed it was a panoramic roof with just a small bar in the center. Again, the front panel opens. We're going to go see the Carnival in a second where both panels open, which is a little bit more unique in that vehicle there. A little bit more change in the buttons here. The buttons for your home link are on the front of the mirror, whereas on the other vehicles, they'll be on the bottom of the mirror here. So just a change in design there. 10.25-inch screen here. So same size here as in the Sorento. All of these have top level sound systems. I think some are Bose, some are Harman Kardon. So you have that. Automatic climate control. Again, tri-zone. Right now the rear climate is off. We can turn that on. When we turn the rear on, you can come up to here. It will change into there. Hit the auto setting there. And now you can see all 3 zones are on. So tri-zone, full tri-zone climate control system here. Heated and ventilated seats looking very similar to the Sorento. This also looks very similar. This charge pad is just a hair slower to charge than the very newest ones. The newest ones with the ventilation are a little bit faster charging, but should be working perfectly for what you need. 2 USBs and a 12 volt, whereas you saw on the Sorento, it was just 12 volt ports. USB ports in all of these vehicles. We'll show you the middle row seats in a bit. We've talked about drive modes. Again, these are the all-wheel drive vehicles. They have that snow, mud, and sand in the Canadian models. And Comfort, Eco, Smart, you won't get the all-wheel drive terrain mode in the Carnival. So, again, there's the Carnival. I'm going to go through quickly on the, there's the Telluride. We're going to jump to the Carnival next, and then we're going to take your questions, and then we're going to go middle row seat to middle row seat. We'll talk about some of the other things. Obviously, there are some major styling differences, but I just want to show you some of the basics of these cars. Hopefully, this is all making sense. Now, here we go. Full evolutionary trend here. This is the latest design trend, and let's turn it to the on position. You're going to see this design trend, this single panel look. Let me see if I can get it in here. This idea of a single display screen. You're going to see this on the new Sportage. You're going to see this on the new EV6. And the difference is this is a 12.3-inch screen, the same as the Sorento was. The difference for here is it's closer to you, which you will see in the EV6. You will see in the new Sportage. And that makes the larger screen look really large. And then again, paired up with another 12.3-inch screen. So over 2 feet of screen space here. And this display screen also, to me, sits a little closer. This is a bit of a curved display that helps with overall with a little bit of glare, I guess. You can still see glare in the camera, but I don't actually see any glare at all with just my naked eyes. So there is that. So again, same software here, but it is a big screen. I mean, here's my hands next to it. This is a extremely large screen, very clear. When you throw the car in reverse, you've got that backup camera that's even bigger and clearer. Same thing here. If I was to turn on the car and signal, actually, you know what? Let's just do that for a second. Let's start the car for a second here. On the digital display, when I signal, left side here, I get my blind spot there. Right side there, I get my blind spot over there. So just turn it off and on again here. So there we go. There's your dash coming to life. But you do have the same use of those cameras. Now again, powered opening sunroof here, but also a powered opening sunroof in the rear. We're opening the glass back there right now. And that is kind of a unique thing. The other thing that's really cool about the Carnival is in this top trim line, check that out. That is called the VIP lounge seating, and that is a full-size lazy boy-like seat. It's as comfortable as the one I have in my living room, maybe even more comfortable. In this Telluride that we just looked at, the middle row seats are heated and ventilated. In the Carnival, the middle row seats on this trim level are heated and ventilated. In the Sorento, heated only. So just a couple things to keep different there. Coming down here, same thing with the tri-zone air conditioning. I could turn on the rear air conditioning, but you can see 2 different zones up front and the rear air. Same idea here with a spot for your phone to charge. They each have their own way of having cup holders. You've got cup holder, and a small space for the key. Most of them have a little bit bigger space. The other 2 vehicles, you have heated and ventilated seats out front here, heated there, ventilated. Oops, let's just go the other way. Ventilated there. So we'll just hold that, turn them all off. Heated steering wheels and everything, of course. And again, you do have the full lane follow assist instead of just the lane keeping assist. Automatic headlights, automatic high beams in all these cars. And again, I was showing you on the other mirror, there's the buttons there for your home link. So just a little cleaner look to the mirror there. The other cool thing is LED lighting up top. Let's just take a look at this. LED lighting in all these cars. When you turn on the inside lights, they are a nice white light, and that is pretty cool because it just changes the look of this car. All right, we're going to go take your questions now. We're 20 minutes in. There's a lot more to show you. We're skipping over everything, it seems like, but we're showing you all 3 cars today. So if you have a like to live, there's about 75 of you on right now. I feel like we can get to 75 likes. Do me a favor, if you want to do the countdown with me, we'll do it together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If we all hit the like button right now, you'll see the algorithm go. There'll be like 100 people on here later in the video, which is kind of fun to do. So let's go take your questions right now. There may be some, there may not be a lot. I've been talking so much, I don't know. But we'll take your questions and then we'll keep going through. I want to show you the middle row seats because that's a difference in these vehicles. And we'll talk about rear third row space. I don't think we'll have time to get into those as much, but we'll talk about cargo space because there is definitely a difference in cargo space on these vehicles. And it's going to depend on your passenger cargo mix on which one may or may not work for you. All right, so somebody gave me a hard time this morning, telling me they don't want to see my face during pictures. That person, of course, has never made a YouTube video on their channel. And I just want to say that I know that some of you don't want to see my face, but traditionally speaking, if I don't show my face and I just show the vehicles, you guys tend to take off at this point. So I'm going to show my face for a second. I apologize that I am not the most pretty person for you to look at. All right. My next car is going to be a Telluride. I'll come visit you guys for it. Perfect. How much and where is the piano black trim in the Telluride and Sorento? So we'll try to show you that. We showed you some already. You may have to go back through the vehicle. I will say on the exterior of these cars, when you get the Sorento in the hybrid model, all of this piano black that is around the outside of the vehicle and runs along there. This one's a little harder to see because it's a darker vehicle. And on the wheels, that is changed on the hybrid and plug-in hybrid model to a traditional sort of matte plastic that looks more like this Telluride right here. So just something to keep in mind there if you do that. We can show you the inside again, and we'll show you that a little bit later in the video, but some of the earlier parts of the video we did go through there, so we'll show you some of that. All right. My man, if I order Sorento SX today, how many months will I have to wait? Just an approximate number. I really appreciate the answer. I don't know, but I can tell you this. If you order a gasoline Sorento, so forgetting the hybrid and PHEV, this one is going to be the quickest one to come. Probably the Carnival will be the next quickest at this point, and the Telluride. That's as of filming today. If you need a car quickly or relatively quickly, of course, everything is going to have to be ordered at this point. This one will show up first. Telluride is going to be quite a long wait right now. Many people feel like it's worth it, and I totally agree with them, but you do need to plan ahead. If you have a lease coming up and it's due, you're going to have to figure out your plan, or we can help work with you on a plan to do that as well. But this one is going to be quicker. I can't say off the top of my head how long, but I do know this one will be significantly quicker than Carnival, and then the Telluride, and again, PHEV and hybrids, different story again. We had PHEV and hybrids coming in fairly quickly for a while. It sounds like that's going to be a little bit longer there. So there we go. All right, so somebody says, ordered a Carnival SX Premium last month. Now they're waiting. So again, that's an American SXP. We have our SX is your SX Premium in the Carnival side of things. If you're States. What lane assistance does Telluride have? Lane assistance it has lane keeping assist, but it has an active setting, which can kind of keep yourself centered. The lane follow assist is the newest system, which is not technically on the Telluride, so they are a little bit more precise, have a few other advantages overall on the other vehicles. All right. What else we got here? Storage center console and storage inside in general on the Carnival. Also Carnival second row airplane seat. Yeah, we'll show you the second row seats. The center console is fairly similar in all these vehicles. Not a whole lot of advantage on one over the other. Can we import a Sorento to the US from Canada? No, we would lose our franchise if we did that. That's the short answer. Hello from UK. Hello. Can you lock yourself? Oh, we talked about that one. 6+ people movers. Yeah, they're all 6+ people movers. They are, for a lot of people, they're kind of comparing all of these. They're similar-ish price point. Hello from Calgary, California, East Bay. Somebody from California called me today. They saw something in our videos and they asked about it. Somebody bought a Stinger Elite, and dealership's supposed to give me a VIN. He said he's 4 to 6. Okay. I don't know about your dealer in Ontario. So somebody's asked me a really specific question about the Stinger. I'll have to get back to that later. All right, let's keep going through here. We were going for about 75 likes. We're at 61. Now I kind of feel like we can do more than 75. Go ahead, keep leaving likes. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Middle row, middle row, middle row. We'll keep looking at your questions. And then I don't know if I'll set up the rear seats, but we definitely will look at cargo and we'll talk about some pros and cons of each. So middle row. Now, Legroom on some of these things. Some of these vehicles have the seats that move all the way back. I don't think it's going to matter for this video. I'm about 6 feet tall. If you have a middle row passenger that you want to sit in these cars, they're going to be comfortable no matter what they do. So I'm going to tilt this just a hair back, just so I'm comfortable. Headroom is fantastic. They've all got sunroofs above me, which is comfortable. And again, the panoramic roof here is the only one with the complete pane of glass with just this small area there. Only the front one opens here, but headroom is fantastic. Overall comfort, seat fit, I could move this headrest up, is perfect for a 6-footer, and again for smaller people as well. And my leg is flat on the seat. That's a pro, that's what you want to see. Now, you can see a lot of space here. This seat did move back when I turned the car off, so I can get more space here. If you want comfort, you're going to be comfortable here. You've got tons of space. Again, rear seat heating on the seat bottom only. Heating on this car, but not ventilation. So that's something to keep in mind if that matters to you. Overall, the other thing to point out back here, every car, again, full pocket here, an extra pocket there, USB ports in the back of the seat, USB ports in the back of the seat here as well. You're going to have that in basically every vehicle. Vents back here, 12-volt regular plug and a USB port down there. So all the charging ports you could possibly need, including those ones right there in the back of the seat. Really kind of nice to have. And then the other thing that I kind of like is all of these vehicles in the middle row have this. The Carnival has it in the middle row and the third row. And it is just an extra little, you know, keeps your kids having a little extra shade. But the other thing is it's a little extra security. You try looking in this vehicle right now and you just can't see in it anymore. Whereas you go back here, well, this is a pretty dark tint, but camera's not working as well as my eyes do. But the idea is you do have those coming out of the door. Really clean system there. So we're going to leave that one there. Now we're going to go Telluride. Telluride, oh, dealerships are marking them up $7,000. Okay, so I did a video this morning, what to look for in a dealership. Our dealer group does not mark up cars like that. We don't mark up cars above MSRP. So, yeah, I don't know what to say to you. That happens, especially seems like in the States. Doesn't happen when you buy from us. So just want to put that out there. All right, Telluride, same idea here. Pockets in the back, we're gonna take a look. Captain's chairs in this trim line. So you can get this with, you can get the lower trims without captain's chairs, but captain's chairs here. I wanna show you that in a second. Let me just flip around to me here. All right, so difference here is I am underneath a nice large sunroof. Obviously hasn't been cleaned yet. We're gonna have to do that sometime. And then you have a sunroof in front, but no continuous sunroof. Now they take advantage of that space. Maybe I can show you like this. I'm gonna flip it around this way. They take advantage of that space here in front of me by having the auto climate control, which you can set here. You can just set your temperature if you want, up or down. You can decide where you want the vents going, various places, or you can set it to the auto setting right there. And you also can turn it on or off, and you can adjust the fan speed. So if you don't want it on auto, you can choose what you want to do. So we're going to turn it to the off right now, but you do take advantage of this space here by having climate controls up there. The Carnival also has climate controls, the Sorento does not, and you have these vents above you here, which are kind of airplane style. They look pretty cool. And again, this soft touch headliner looks better in person. It just does not film well. Coming down here at the seats, same idea. You have a pocket here, and then a smaller cell phone type pocket in the center, little hook on the passenger side seat, USB ports, of course. The cup holders for the rear seats are right there. In the Sorento, they were in the doors. You have a standard regular plug and a 12-volt plug. They both have doors on them, so you can shut those down and do that. And then, of course, the same thing here. So there's that pocket again, the cell phone pocket. And actually, I should have pointed out on the Sorento, on the sides of the captain's chairs in the Sorento, right here, you have like a little cell phone pocket, a little mesh pocket, kind of looked like this one right here with that that setting there, that netting there. That was down here. You don't have that on the Telluride. All of them have armrests that kind of fit perfect. Again, the little tabs on the door there. So overall, let's take a look at me. Headroom again is excellent. Legroom again is a little bit more than the Sorento, but I don't think anybody's going to have trouble fitting if you're a normal sized person. My legs are comfortable on the seat here as well. Lots of foot and legroom there. So overall, tons of comfort here. Probably the midpoint between these. There's a little tiny bit more space, definitely a little tiny bit more width here than you have in the Sorento. And again, heated and ventilated seats. So we'll show you them real quickly. Heated and ventilated seats, 3 levels on each one. I don't remember. Might be 2 or 3 levels of heated, but not ventilated on the Sorento. Okay, coming over to the Carnival. Things get kind of crazy here. So again, sliding doors, no all-wheel drive. Other than the sliding doors, which not everybody wants, and the no all-wheel drive, there's no question the Carnival is the best passenger car we have. Absolutely. It's got great technology. It's got great features. It's got bigger screens. It's the top of the line vehicle, whether people like it or not. It is a step above the Telluride. These seats can slide in or out, so you can move it this way or that way. When you put them inside like they are right now, They are capable of being turned into that lazy boy, which I guess I could lay down in. Kind of looks like a dentist chair, actually. One thing that people do wrong in videos is they put this up and they leave this bar here in or even partially out. That goes long enough to fit a 6-footer. I'll jump in there in a second, but let's just take a look at me jumping in now. One thing I like about the Carnival, right here, if I can show you, there's a handle here. So I can use that to get in. You don't need it, but it certainly is a nice thing to keep you comfortable. This one is tilted back a little bit. Headroom is unlimited. It is pretty cool to sit in these seats back here and have an opening sunroof behind you, which is kind of cool. I like that a lot. Down here, you can see I'm reclined a little bit here. These are powered seats. I can do a lot with them. Just trying to get my camera angle there. Lots of leg space, a little bit less foot space where this is, but I can move this a long ways back, like unreasonable amount of space back, and I can't even touch. We'll show you that in the next seat over right now. Actually, maybe, hold on. Let me just show you with my feet here. Again, I can stretch out here, but again, when I do this, oh, look at those nice shoes, eh? When I do this, you don't really have space for a third row passenger. So you can, it's just unreasonably too much space. So you can still be extremely comfortable here with third row passengers. Now let's just jump over to this side here into the dentist chair, which is far more comfortable than the dentist chair. This is not how you should be getting in here. But I just want to point out right now that I am laying down on my job on a chair, and I am as comfortable as can be, and I'm getting paid for this right now. So down here you can see my legs. They are not touching the chair in front of me. The person in the passenger seat can be totally comfortable. I am legitimately, I don't know how to film this anyway while I hold the camera myself, but I am in a lazy boy chair, and I'm completely comfortable back here. So big deal with the Carnival is you have on the top trim line these VIP lounge seats where I am legal to drive like this. Like, that's what kind of always blows my mind. But you can do that. I left that chair out there. Of course, it's power and you can move stuff. Actually, I see a reason for this handle. If you don't want to put the seat up, you can use that handle to help get out. And so there we go. Let me just try to film this again. There's probably a better angle of that seat. Again, you can sit that up. You can move it up. A lot of space there. Rear sunroof control only from the front. Yeah, they don't have the rear sunroof control. They do have, let me just see if I can film it right here in front of me. I'm looking through the camera now. There's your climate control on the side there, on the passenger side, which actually can't be reached if you're fully reclined those seats. But yeah, rear sunroof, you are gonna have to ask the driver if they want to open that up for you, which, you know, seems like a fair trade-off. So that is the Carnival rear seat. Now again, we're at the 30-minute mark. Usually at this point, we either go off topic or we make sure we take your questions. Not a ton of space to do, not a ton of time today to do cargo space. So what I might do next week is do a shorter cargo space video just so you guys can all see it instead of having to watch a full half an hour video. But we'll take your questions right now. We'll go through. We were going for 75 likes. I kind of got greedy and asked for more. We're still below 75. So let's see if we can get to 75 likes right now, and then I'll take your questions and we'll go through and I'll see what we can do for you. Okay, let's start at the bottom here. So we'll be purchasing a Carnival EX Plus thanks to my videos. Issue is the interior. How do I get a different color interior? What would be the... so the interior colors are only what they are. You have to look on the website to see what they are. The Martian Brown, for instance, which is available in the SX, is not available in the EX Plus. So interior colors are what they are. And I think a lot of people have given some really good ideas. Why don't we get the dual opening sunroofs in the EX Plus? That would be a great idea, but you got to keep in mind Kia's perspective. Kia is currently selling every single Carnival it can make, like, and then some. So they're just so popular right now. For them to introduce another version of it that would be even more popular or make it even more popular, it's not a good time to do that from a business perspective, right? They already are selling everyone they can. So Carnival kind of is what it is right now. It is fantastic. It is fantastic, even though we're not allowed to call it van. But it is very good. And although there are things that you could improve about it, there are things that we could tweak in settings and colors inside. They're just not likely to change this year because at this point they want to meet demand before they created more desirable versions to try to keep going from there. How good is the Kia Carnival in the snow compared to the Telluride? So the Telluride and the Sorento are all-wheel drive. That's going to be an advantage. I do recommend getting winter tires. If you get winter tires in the Carnival, you've got good ground clearance for a van, actually class-leading ground clearance. I think it's pretty good, but of course, it's not available in all-wheel drive, and that's a sacrifice you want to make, or you have to make if you want that. I know there are all-wheel drive vans out there. I would argue that for the few times all-wheel drive is worth it, compared to just snow tires, I would argue that the other features in the Carnival are going to make you enjoy the Carnival far more year-round than some of the other all-wheel drive vans out there, and I can confidently say that. All right, let me just scroll up here. Denver, Colorado, have to wait 10 to 12 weeks for a Seltos. Yeah, that's not too bad, 10 to 12 weeks. That's kind of an average thing right now. So yeah, the only reason you haven't bought one yet, Scott was saying, is because of the markups. We don't do that here. What do you think about the interior leather, black or burgundy? Which one do you prefer? So it doesn't matter which one I prefer, because if I prefer a pink car with yellow polka dots, that does not at all mean that you should prefer a pink car with yellow polka dots. But burgundy is very nice. We did a video of a burgundy Kia Sorento, so you can see that burgundy. Colors don't translate perfectly on camera, so you can see what's burgundy or not. But hopefully you'll be able to see it. I kind of like the burgundy. It is obviously not the most popular one, and maybe that's part of why I like it. Black is very popular for a lot of people. But yeah, which one I prefer doesn't really matter. Which one you think is the best is what matters to me. In all three cars, do the rear seats detach? Carnival look to only have 4 seats in it at the moment. Yeah, so the Carnival has seats that fold in the floor. Actually, all of these have rear seats that fold in the floor. We'll just show you. Actually, why don't we just pop the trunk on all 3 of them? Again, I don't want to spend too much time doing a trunk comparison. We'll do that a little bit later. But let's just pop them open. They are all powered trunks. So we're going to open them all up and we'll take a look and do that here. So the Carnival, of course, if you have the lounge seats here all the way back like we do, I can't actually set up the rear seats, which pop forward and up. And there's a very deep storage well here. Class-leading storage space in the Carnival. Like I said, we'll do another video, and we've done other videos with cargo space. If you have the, the mats here, wow, looks like we have a body in the trunk. But if you have these seats here up, they can come a long ways back, and that's a comfortable position for me. You have just immense storage space here, but you're only fitting 4 people if these seats are down. You can put 7 people in with those seats up, but you won't be able to lay this seat down with the 7 people here. So that's that. The seats here, again, are in the floor. They pop up and then sort of flip up from there. So again, the whole thing rises, and then the backrest sits and folds up like that. Those are the typical minivan seats. Over here, just the backs fold up here. So same thing in the Sorento and the Telluride. We're in the Telluride now. 60-40 split here because it's 1, 2, 3 seats in the back row. And these are a little easier to put up right now. You just do a single pull like this. And I'm just going to use my other hand. Oops. There we go. And put that up. And then you've got the rear seat there. So simple there. And again, the same thing over here in the Sorento. Again, I've got some of the shipping plastic in this car. 50-50 splits because there's only 2 seats here. And they set up the exact same way. Pull it up like this and put the headrest up like that. So again, we'll do a trunk comparison test in the future. There is some back. So I guess this is another thing to keep in mind. If you have third row seats where are mandatory to use, you have limited space. In other words, my teddy bear over there, he's not going to fit behind the third row seats of the Sorento unless he squishes up, and luckily Teddy's squishy and he'll fit there. There is a tiny bit of underfloor storage here, but not a ton. On the Telluride, they do their underfloor storage a little bit differently. You can fit Teddy Bear in here behind the seats. So Teddy Bear has enough space behind the seats in the Telluride. The other thing you can do is you can flip this up and put the bar like that. So you do have sort of a wall and a sort of a minivan-like well there, but not super, super deep. And let me just put that back like it was and leave that there. And then, of course, the Carnival here. I don't know if I can put these seats up here. Let's just see if I can. You know what? Let's just move that seat forward and we'll show you. We'll throw the seats up in a second. I got the wrong seat down because it's a 60-40 split here. So give me 1 second. We'll move this seat all the way back. And the only problem is this does take a second or two to do because I have to hit buttons here. Where is the right button? Oh boy, I can't reach what I need to reach. There we go. All right, so bear with me. I'm hitting all of these buttons there on this seat here. And I'm gonna put this button in there. Terrible filming, sorry for about this. All right, we've got the seat up enough that I can move it forward. So now I'm gonna have a manual seat to move forward or in and out. So we're gonna go forward. And I'm just gonna put this down for 1 second. Oh boy, terrible camera work. There we go. So that seat's forward but not comfortable. Obviously I can fix that later. This seat in the rear seat is just lift it up like this. Pull this back like this. And I need a second hand for a second just to lock it where I want. So again, big storage well there. Deep storage well with the seats there. There's your third row. All right, we're 38 minutes in. We made it to 74 likes, which means one of you people right now are saying, nope, I'm not giving this guy a like. and I understand that. I've been there. So I'm hoping that somebody else can have a little sympathy on me on a Friday afternoon. Hey, we got 76. That's pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to keep taking your questions for just about 1 or 2 more minutes here if you have any, and we'll just make sure. Never mind, you see the spare tire tools? Yeah, spare tire. So spare tires on all of these vehicles. That's a good question. Spare tire is underneath the back of the Sorento, underneath the back of the Telluride, underneath the middle of the, underneath the floor there in the middle. And there's a little tool where you can lower it down and pull it out from beside the vehicle. And same thing with the back. Any idea on the pricing and available on the new Sportage? That is a fantastic question. The Sportage, we don't have pricing yet. Here's the catch with the Sportage. It is going to eat sales from the lower end of the Sorento lineup. It's going to have probably more equipment for the price. It's got the same engine, probably, 2.5 liter engine. So we do expect to see that. I don't have anything official for the new Sportage, but when I do, I'll make a video. So feel free to subscribe. Somebody asked something. Oh, do I recommend snow tires if you have all-wheel drive? I drive the Santa Cruz. It is all-wheel drive, and I put snow tires on that. And we had snow the other day, and that thing is good in the snow. And of course, it has basically the same all-wheel drive system here. So it depends on your usage. If you're concerned about traction overall, obviously putting winter tires on a front-wheel drive vehicle is going to give you an advantage in traction. Obviously, the biggest difference winter tires make is not just acceleration, but steering and braking. You also gain that traction advantage. If you can swing it, I do recommend winter tires here in Canada because they do save a little bit of wear on your summer tires. You can save some wear on the wheels and stuff too. But with our all-wheel drive system, these cars are so good because keep in mind with our all-wheel drive system, they don't wait for the front wheels to slip. A lot of vehicles you have to wait for the front wheels to slip and then it sends power to the rear and it tries to regain traction. What that does is makes the vehicle feel very squirrely before it gets traction. With our system, when it's all-wheel drive, all 4 wheels receive power right from the stop. And then as it maintains traction, it moves it forward. So in the snow, you're gonna have grip and it'll stay on all-wheel drive if it needs it, or it'll move it a little bit forward at varying percentages. Never completely 100% front-wheel drive. It's always at least 95.5. But the idea is with that, you never get that squirrely feeling. You always have traction. So the all-wheel drive system is really, 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 really good. Especially when you give it snow tires. So snow tires also help things like traction control, stability control, all of those things that are looking for every wheel speed sensors. They're looking for traction all the time. It can do that really well. One of these cars is going to turn off on me. It's beeping at me. Oh yeah, so I should just show you this. Our newest cars, if you do nothing and leave them for up to a half an hour, or maybe 15 minutes, depends on what we do, they will turn themselves off. This car is about to turn itself off because it was getting the battery warning. So you can hear the beeping. So 28 seconds, that's what's going to happen. I don't think we'll stay on for that, but just so you know, the newest vehicles can turn themselves off if you happen to leave them on, whether the engine's running or whether they've left on and that. All right, so I think we're going to leave it there, guys. It's been a good Friday. We got a lot more coming up this month. Feel free to check out our other video that's on our homepage of our YouTube page right now about what to look for when you're buying a car. It's been a tough month. It's been a tough year, but we've had several record months this year because we've just tried to figure out what customers need and deliver that to them. So when customers aren't getting the vehicles right away, there's a lot of things we can do, and I think we're doing a good job of that, and I think that's what you should look for in a dealership. So have a great weekend, as Bruce says. So have a great weekend, everybody else, and we'll talk to you again on Monday.